I think the next news that'll drop is you'll see some big investment, like famous investment names, like big macro investors or big investors in the market. And then someone will say, yeah, we bought $1 billion worth of it, or we bought a lot of it and we're buying a lot more. Big tech will move. The hungry tech will move. Certain players in the system, MasterCard and Visa, will accommodate. And I think you already see lots of big pools of silent money, like endowments, pension funds, family offices. They're all rolling in. And then you'll see the mutual funds and the ETF. The most successful ETF in the history of Canada is the Bitcoin BTCC. I think we'll see an ETF in the US sometime in the next 12 months. It seems inevitable. So now you want to play the game of Kingmaker. Here's the dynamic, right? Facebook, Apple, Google, Amazon. Especially, you've got the Facebook, Apple, Google dynamic, right? I mean, Google Android is struggling with iOS. If all three of those companies, if they do nothing, then Square and PayPal are going to consistently and gradually rip away their accounts. The reason that PayPal moved is Square forced them to, right? When Square moved, PayPal had to move. Now, PayPal and Square are wrestling with this, and it's possible that all three of the big three do nothing, in which case Square, that's the best thing that could happen for Square and PayPal, right? But it's not likely. There's that phrase, 3 people can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. Well, there's 3. Okay, you can keep Bitcoin from exploding through the entire mobile space if all 3 of them agree not to compete with each other. But I don't think that's going to happen. One of them's going to move. In my opinion, Facebook has the most to gain and needs to do this.
Interesting.
Like Apple's got an iron lock on iOS. I mean, look how much power they have. A lot of power. Google has a really, really strong business and an iron lock on Android. Facebook is kind of the odd man out because they need to have a mobile app that's running on iOS and Android. And they're getting pressured by Apple with, the latest privacy token maneuvering. And you can see the sparks flying there. I think the hedge funds will move much more aggressively next. The hedge funds were participating. It's like, we have a little bit of this and a little bit of gold. Okay, gold's up 9%, Bitcoin's up 450%. A little, we got more gold and Bitcoin. That doesn't really work anymore, right? I mean, you got to have your head examined if you're allocating the gold, right? Any rational person that can run a spreadsheet is like, what are you going to do? Well, last year gold didn't work. Let's sell some gold and buy some Bitcoin. So I think you see the existing hedge fund players double down or triple down. I think you see other fast money that had ignored this story get in the space. They'll move next, and they'll move in different ways. I think that it's inevitable. You'll see the sovereign wealth funds. They have to move. I mean, they have infinite money. And if you're in infinite money, you see the asset class coming and you see it's the best performing asset class. Your only issue is, are other people with money doing this? If I can point to $100 billion entities that are doing this, probably about 1,000 big institutions that are in it right now. So I think 2021 is the year that sovereign wealth they'll start to dip their toe in it. They'll get in a little bit. And I think some more of these hedge funds will move. I think you'll see, the number of publicly traded companies double. You had 2, then you had 4, then you had 8, then you had 16. There's 10,000 big companies that could buy $1 billion of this. There's 10,000 big investors that could buy $1 billion of this. And there's 10,000 individuals floating out there that could buy $1 billion of this. And that's the universe. And right now, I announced I bought $1 billion. Elon Musk announced he bought $1 billion. We've had a couple of announcements of 750 million. So, you got 30,000 different players and there's not a lot of room in this thing. So at some point you're going to see 1, 2, 3 more of them. They're going to come out with serious news like that because it's possible and it's logical.